Yo, what's up guys? So I wanted to get on here and have a conversation about something that I've been thinking about recently, which is how being an openly non-straight man in the music industry seems to be over, at least in the mainstream sense. It seems like men that have mainstream aspirations, it's probably best if they don't come out. So this video is kind of unstructured. I just wanted to get on here and start a conversation. I'm gonna be bouncing around from different subtopics of the issue. So I'm gonna put timestamps. If you find a topic that interests you, you can just jump to that point. Before we get into the video, I wanna say, if you're interested in conversations like these or left field pop culture and music opinions, then please subscribe and like this video, as it helps my channel a lot. So first things first, I think I need to start this video out by talking about the political climate, at least America is in right now. I'm not the most well-versed guy when it comes to politics, but from what I've seen and from my understanding, it definitely seems like America is shifting to a more conservative nature. All the liberal, LGBT, blue-haired, nose ring, social justice warrior things that were going on in the mid to late 2010s, it seems like that's over, and what is popular is just a more conservative or traditional outlook and view on things. And while homophobia has always been a thing and it will probably always be a thing, it seems like overt displays of homophobia are increasing again, and tolerance of LGBT individuals is moving towards shaky waters. And I don't know if that's just a pushback from all the political correctness and wokeness of the 2010s. We live in an era where it's more socially acceptable for streamers to get online and quote unquote act gay than for there to be an openly gay male pop star or artist. And I know that we have those, but it seems like society is quickly starting to be actually, this experiment is over with, we're not feeling this anymore. There's probably way more that needs to be said and could be said about the political climate leading to more homophobia and whatnot, but I'm just not the best guy for that issue. But it just seems like to me that is definitely an issue. The next thing I want to touch on is the double standard when it comes to male artist sexual orientation versus female artist sexual orientation. With female artists, they have way more liberty to express their queerness or express certain things that if a male artist did, their career would be over or they would quickly lose popularity. For example, you've had female artists like SZA, Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, and probably other ones I can't think of right now that have definitely, flirted with the idea of bisexuality, or women can flirt with that kind of stuff and their numbers are unaffected. And in fact, sometimes it makes them more popular or gets them more attention. Meanwhile, with male artists, they're not allowed to be open in that way. Somebody like Megan Thee Stallion could say, oh yeah, one time a girl went down on me and it was great, it was fine, and nobody questions her attraction to men or puts her in the gay box. But meanwhile, if you had a male artist that was oh yeah, one time a guy went down on me, it was cool, but I only did it once, I never did it again, he would immediately be put in the gay category. He probably would have his career or his mainstream potentiality or offerings decreased. I always think about that episode from Insecure when Molly was dating that guy and he told her that, one time in college a guy went down on him, but he didn't like it that much and he never did it again, and she just could not wrap her mind around the fact that he had experimented. And I feel like that episode was really true, because that's how male sexual expression and sexuality is viewed. You can have someone like Nicki Minaj who can flirt with bisexuality and saying, oh, I'm into girls and where the bad bees at and all that, and nobody questions her heterosexuality today. But with a male artist, that would never fly. Next, I want to talk about some of the openly queer male artists in the music industry, such as Lil Nas X, Saucy Santana, Sam Smith. In my personal opinion, I think that some of the openly queer male artists that have managed to break through in the mainstream, I kind of think they dropped the ball. Let's start with Lil Nas X. I feel like he is the best example of just fumbling the bag. With Lil Nas X, he just went too far. The first time when he put out the Call Me By Your Name video and he was twerking on the devil and this and that, I understood the message and the meaning behind the video. People always say, oh, gay people are going to hell, even though there was a lot of backlash for it. I think a lot of people got it. That made more sense. But with the whole devil shoe, with the drops of blood in it, with the 666 on it, he just went too far with it. The fact he got away with that and still was able to go on to have other top 10 hits like Industry Baby and That's What I Like was honestly a miracle. But really, Lil Nas X fumbled his bag so hard when he dropped the J. Christ video and song, because there really was no excuse for what he did this time. You literally were just mocking religion. The way it damaged his career is almost similar, in my opinion, to the way that that the Nipplegate incident damaged Janet Jackson's career, like catastrophic levels. Lil Nas X's last era, he was able to have a #1 hit, multiple top 10 hits, the album goes #1, he's a main pop boy. And now after the J. Christ single, no other song that he's put out has charted. And it's a shame because I actually think that this era, Lil Nas X is putting out some of his best music. I don't even know if Hotbox is gonna chart because it's such a good song, but people really don't like him right now. Lil Nas X was in a position where a lot of white gay men hadn't even been able to achieve what Lil Nas X achieved. Like the industry has been trying forever to get a white gay man to break through on the pop charts, but they couldn't do it. And him as a black gay man, he did it, and he fumbled the position. The next person I want to talk about is Sam Smith. Sam Smith, to me, similarly kind of did too much like Lil Nas X did with the whole unholy thing and like the devil horn imagery and the whole like kind of satanic panic imagery that he incorporated in a lot of his performances during the unholy era. I don't understand why he felt the need to associate him being a queer male with devil imagery. It turns people off. It's like, oh, Lil Nas X doing the devil imagery, oh, Sam Smith doing the devil imagery, are y'all queer male artists get on stage and do all this overtly like devil stuff? It's turn off. The other queer male artist, well, gay male artist I want to talk about is Saucy Santana. Saucy Santana was in a position where he's super duper feminine and he was starting to get, you know, major endorsements. Like I think he opened up for Madonna or performed her on tour. He was getting major mainstream like commercial endorsements with certain brands. Where he messed up, he came for Beyonce and Jay-Z's kids long time ago on Twitter before he was famous. Beyonce and Jay-Z never publicly addressed this, but you best believe that they pulled some strings behind the industry to get him blackballed. No major label or brand is gonna want to be associated with him now because it's like, oh, well, Jay-Z and Beyonce don't like you and we don't want to be on their bad side by promoting you, so you're out of luck, bro. Like, we're not messing with you anymore. It seems like all these queer male artists, they've done things that have just, in a lot of ways, they've set back queer men in general, in my personal opinion, in terms of mainstream musical representation. So the next thing I want to talk about is, in my opinion, like the downsides of being out in the music industry as a man. When you are an openly queer male artist, 90% of the time you are automatically putting yourself into a niche category. And it's unfortunate because, like I said earlier, like Megan Thee Stallion can talk about how like, ooh, I'm trying to go home with a bad bee tonight. And that doesn't affect her standing with straight audiences. But unfortunately, when you're a man, you are automatically like, if you're an openly queer artist, your being is already seen as divisive. In male culture, for those that don't know, there's a such thing as called gay by association. A lot of straight men, they don't want to listen to gay male artists or openly queer male artists because it makes them feel like they're doing something wrong, is the best way I can put it. A lot of straight men don't want to listen to a guy that is openly non-heterosexual because it's like, oh, you might be talking about a man and I can't relate to that and this and that. It's almost like if you are a queer male artist and you want to be mainstream, it's like you kind of have to be in the closet because a lot of straight men, they won't want to listen to you. And then expanding on that topic, the unfortunate thing is when you are an openly non-straight male in the music industry, that slashes who is willing to work with you maybe in half or more than half. Unfortunately, like I said, there's a such thing as gay by association. People are going to be like, oh, well, why are you working with him? Like, he's openly bi or gay or whatever. Like, you shouldn't be working with him. That's why Lil Nas X's first album, he had mostly female features and the only male feature was Jack Harlow. I think the reason why Jack Harlow was the only male feature is because black male artists didn't want to work with Lil Nas X. Jack Harlow could get away with working with an openly gay male artist more than a straight black man could get away with working with Lil Nas X. And then I'll say the last downside, there are a lot of places in the world that are more homophobic than America and you cannot tour there. Lil Nas X cannot tour in certain parts of Africa. He cannot tour in the Middle East. He cannot tour in certain parts of Europe. Their homophobia is like, oh, we'll attack you. Like, we'll try to like K-word you. You feel me? So it's like, if you want to be a touring artist, being in the closet, if you are a queer man, is the better option because then you have more places in the world you can tour. The next thing I want to talk about is the quiet queers. Quiet queers to me are people like Steve Lacy, Frank Ocean, and Tyler the Creator. So the thing about all those three is like, we know they're non-straight, but it's such a footnote in their career versus somebody like a Lil Nas X and Santana where their gayness is like front and center, like part of their brands. Like, we know Tyler and Steve and Frank like men, but it's a quiet part. It seems to be that's the way that male artists, if they are queer, are supposed to be, where it's like, okay, we know you're queer, but just don't remind us about it. And personally, I think the only reason why Tyler the Creator was able to come out the way he did is because he for years had built up such a strong male fan base that he provided a product to them that they couldn't get elsewhere. So they kind of just had to accept him, not because they wanted to, but because like, well, I like him as an artist and he performs masculinity the way that we expect of him. So it's kind of like, okay, we'll just ignore that part about you. You know, with Steve Lacy, he basically came out like on a Tumblr post years ago, but like that's so low key and niche. Like most people don't know that. Like most people, they don't think of his sexual orientation like that. Like I know he's bi, you may know he's bi, but like most people that like his music, they probably don't know that about him. So he kind of gets away with it, you know? And then Frank Ocean is just like, people just love his music so much. And he has such a strong cult fan base before he came out. He was able to get away with it. So the last thing I want to talk about before I end this video is I feel like the next queer male stars will not be out. Their sexual orientation will probably be subtext. I feel like because we're shifting to a more conservative nature in this country, I feel like the next male stars, if they're noticeably queer, I feel like they won't come out. And I feel like that's probably the smartest thing to do, because what I've noticed is straight audiences will still listen to your music even if you're noticeably queer if you don't say it. But it's like once you say it, it's kind of like, oh well, now I can't pretend that you're not. Now I can't pretend that you're just quirky and strange, you know? Now it's like, oh, I know you're queer, and it turns them off to the music. So I feel like the next queer male stars, like their lyrics and their performances and all that, there may be hints towards their sexual orientation, but it's not going to be this in your face display like Lil Nas X and Sauce Santana. So yeah, like I said, I just wanted to start a discussion about this topic, and I want to know what you guys think about this, because I've been like thinking about this heavy recently, and it really just seems like things are shifting. It feels like at one point we have reached a new frontier with gay male artists or queer male artists where it's like you can be out and be big in the mainstream, but now it seems like those days are over, and I don't know if we'll ever get back there. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe, and you will see me in the next one.